Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Recipe Tuesday. I'm going to try something completely different from what I normally put up on Tuesdays. Um, this is something that is a Japanese type of noodle, and it's called Shirataki noodle. Um, and they're very versatile. They can be used in just about any type of dish that requires noodles. So basically, what I have here about shirataki noodles is that they're low calorie, low carb, and they're made from a konjac plant, Konjac plant. These noodles originated in Japan and have been eaten in Japan for over 1,000 years. So, what is a konjac noodle? Konjac noodles is another name for shirataki noodle, as I just mentioned. It is pretty self explanatory as the noodles are made from konjac root. What are shirataki noodles made of? They're made from glucosamine, which is a gelatinous fiber found in the konjac root, but some other varieties are made from tofu. You'll want to check the labels if you have a strong preference. I personally buy this brand as I prefer konjac noodles over those made with tofu. Um, so let's see, I'm going to go further down. Now, how to make the shirataki noodle, what you're going to do is the instructions on the package typically say to just rinse and eat, but I strongly recommend the following: the instructions below for the optimal texture. What you're going to do is you're going to rinse the noodles in a colander under cool running water for a couple of minutes. This helps neutralize their flavor. After you do that, boil them is actually not necessary to cook them. We do this to improve their flavor and texture. Boiling makes them less crisp or rubbery and more like an al dente pasta. It only takes about 3 minutes in boiling water. You'll notice they get a bit thicker. And that makes sense because, of expansion. For your information, boiling is technically optional but recommended for texture. You can skip it if you really want to, but I did a comparison test with and without, and doing this step definitely improved the texture of the noodle. After you do that, you're going to pat the noodles very dry with paper towels. This is an important prep step for the best way to cook shirataki noodles, which we'll cover next. How to cook them: stir fry. Heat a large heavy skillet over medium high heat without any oil. Add the miracle noodles. This is after rinsing, boiling, and patting dry. And stir fry for about 10 minutes until they are very dry. The dry stir frying step is crucial for the best texture and flavor. Whether you skip the boiling step above or not, definitely don't skip the stir fry step. It really helps to make your miracle noodles as neutral and as close to real pasta in texture as possible. Now, you're going to make a sauce. What it takes to do that is you're going to, because the dish that I'm doing is a creamy garlic Parmesan noodle type dish with the shirataki noodles included. So, what you're going to do is you're going to heat olive oil in a skillet over medium heat and cook garlic until fragrant. All right, once you do that, bring to a simmer and then reduce heat and simmer until the sauce in volume starts to thicken a little. Now, Once you do that, you're going to add Parmesan until smooth and thick. Add noodles to sauce and toss to coat. Season with salt and pepper to taste. And that's pretty much it. What it says about the shirataki noodle is that it is 3 grams total carbohydrates, 2 grams of fiber, 1 gram net carbs, 0 grams of fat, and 0 grams of protein. And if you're trying to follow a keto type diet, they are keto friendly. Now, what I'm trying to figure out here is it talks about creating a sauce. Now, I need to find out what exactly is included to create this sauce. This is a totally new recipe for me. So let me scroll back up here if it'll tell me something. Again, this is a recipe that I've never done before. And I have a feeling. Okay, what it's telling me here, okay, let me reiterate on part of that to help create a little bit of the sauce. In addition to the garlic, as I mentioned, over medium heat with olive oil, you are going to want to add a little bit of, they say heavy whipping cream, but you can use light whipping cream just as well. I've done that for many recipes, it comes out just as well. So you add that, I would say about right around a half to 2/3 of a cup. And then you're going to mix in your Parmesan. You're probably going to add about a quarter to a third of a cup of that and mix that in with the garlic and everything. And then you're going to include your shirataki noodles once everything uh, thickens and comes together. I myself, again, have never done this, never made shirataki noodle. I never really knew of a shirataki noodle. It kind of reminds me when I look at it, as far as the texture of it and looks, it reminds me of a clear type of ramen noodle. That's what it resembles to me. So I would be willing to give this a try. This sounds so good. Anything that involves garlic and parmesan, I'll go along with it wholeheartedly. After you have it together and you put it together in the pot or pan, whatever you're making it in, um, it says that you can garnish it a little bit with some parsley on top if you want to do that. So, anyway, guys, that's how you make the dish. Um, it didn't specify right at the front how to create the creamy sauce, so I had to go back further back up and look at it. But that's how you do it. If you feel like making this dish, please let me know how it turns out. It does explain, as I mentioned, if I didn't, shirataki noodle is a versatile noodle. It can be used in other things as well. You can use it in stir fry. I guess if you really wanted to, you could use it in spaghetti or pasta. I don't know, just a thought. But anyway, I'm glad all of you could be with me this Recipe Tuesday. Um, Hope to see you guys here on Thursday. And I hope you have a great morning, afternoon. See you then. Bye.